I'm Jenna.
Hello, I'm Gloria.
We are Worthy Wellness.
Because we are worth it.
Our purpose is to introduce women entrepreneurs, products, and services while proceeds help women in need for holistic care and therapy services.
Welcome, ladies.
Today on another episode of the Worthy Wellness Podcast. Today we have the pleasure of interviewing Jennifer Escalera. She's the CEO and owner of the Mystic Living School. We look forward to hearing what Jennifer has to teach us today. And I'm so excited. So how are you today, Jennifer? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Jennifer, and I have been on this healing journey pretty much my whole life. I've always been someone who is interested in bigger and greater things. I grew up Catholic, and for me, going to Mass was something that was just so beautiful and lovely. It was my connection to God or the Virgin Mary. It was just something that I could connect with on a deeper level. And so through that journey, there's been different like childhood traumas that I've had to deal with, and which I'm finding that a lot of my generation, I'm a Generation X, and there's a lot of similar stories where we were raised to just kind of push through things. And we were also the generation where, we had both parents working. And so I was a latchkey kid, and I basically had to raise myself. I had older siblings. I'm one of four, and really just had to just fend for myself. And I think that also in hindsight is why I have been able to keep going, and I'm so determined to continue on. I'm a lifetime student, and so I love learning. And as a kid being home, that's when I kind of explored, which I now understand as channeling and meditating. But I would just sing around the house. I would sing to God and just sing what my day was like, because no one was there. And so I just felt this deep connection. And so anyways, through that journey, I went to UC Riverside, and that's when I started learning about different cultures and the way that they heal, and learning about indigenous ways and ceremonial ways of healing, and really expanded off of that, and I'm no longer a practicing Catholic, but, I still appreciate all of the rituals of the church and the Mass. I do still incorporate, and I have a very strong faith. But it was through, just really understanding the way that, we're all very similar, but we each come from our own unique, cultural backgrounds. And it's been my passion, to always be, promoting other Latinas, other women of color, and other empaths and intuitives and people who have been, seeking to understand themselves, because as an empath, we didn't learn how to develop through the years, and especially growing up with early childhood traumas, no one really is going to sit down and talk to you about like how to heal. And so from there, I started out working at a group home, and then social workers would go there. I was a child care worker / counselor. And through that, I met a social worker who was like, hey, have you, thought of going on to get your master's degree? So I went into social work, and I love social work. I'm also a licensed clinical social worker. I practiced psychotherapy for over a decade. I'm no longer a practicing clinician, but I still am licensed. But I've just always known that with trauma, that there was more than just the talk. And because I grew up very spiritual and tuned in to, other things beyond this dimension, it just felt natural for me to learn about other ways. So I went to massage school. I studied crystal therapy, so I'm a certified crystal therapist. I also wanted to understand the subconscious part of our being. So I became a certified hypnotherapist and also a sound healer. And so through that, I have been incorporating energy work and psychotherapy. When I first started my business back in 2008, I called myself a holistic psychotherapist because I didn't want to be, your traditional psychotherapist. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I just wanted to connect with other people who found spirituality or some other forms of healing other than psychotherapy, to know that there was a sacred space for them. And then, it just, over the years, I became a mom through this whole journey, and that just really opened up and expanded my opportunities. I, had a calling. I got a download, is what you call that. I heard my guides telling me that it was time for me to start teaching other healers who wanted to learn about energy work and just what they have guided me through. And so even though I have formal education and I have formal training, there's a lot of what I do that I received from my ancestors and from my guides. So it's more intuitive. And that's what I'm teaching now. And I still am a practitioner, doing energy work, but my business now is teaching, and I absolutely love it. It's so awesome. It's so divine.
Well, I am one of your students, and I have to tell you, you're a marvelous teacher. Very
Thank
patient,
you.
very kind, very loving, willing to share your knowledge, but also very understanding that everyone has a different way of doing the process, and that really to your students means so much. I can tell you that firsthand. But I wanted to ask you, Jennifer, so what kind of healing do you do? And can you explain to our listeners how you work and help your clients?
Yeah. So I am a multifaceted, multidisciplinary, if you would call that, healer. So I'm what you would say as a metaphysical practitioner. So I don't only just work with chakras or the energy or the subtle body. I work with other vibrational and energy medicines, which include crystal and the meridian and the auric body. And I also take people through trance journeys. So I see now in reflecting that when I trained as a hypnotherapist, my guides were really just helping me to remember what it's like to take people through these journeys, through these trance journeys. And so that is a huge part of what I find so remarkable, is being able to take people through these journeys, which is where we can go in all different dimensions, whether it's real or imaginary, and we're healing a lot of old wounds and to help to heal unconscious beliefs and on a cellular level. So I also use sound healing to help people to relax even more deeply. And with sound healing, that also helps to relax the nervous system. It helps to shift our thinking, our brain waves, or our brain activity. And that makes it really comfortable and really easy for people to relax and receive the healing. I'm a really big believer, and this is what I do teach, is preparing before the session. And so I'm also meditating, and I'm, creating a sacred space. And I think that's also what makes my clients feel really comfortable, is we're already tuning in, and it's such a compliment when they go to sleep, because that also tells me that, they trust me and they trust this process, and they're allowing whatever, and channeling that I may do. I may receive messages from their guides or their loved ones who have passed on, or their ancestors. And so I give them information and give them guidance. And that also is very comforting and healing, because they know at that point they're not alone. And I think that also builds a really trusting relationship between me and my clients because, they come back and they need those kind of like guidances. I'm not here to tell people what to do and even suggest that I am all 100%, but I just give people the information that I have, that I receive. And, I definitely have seen the impact of being able to open in that way.
And I love that. And this is so beneficial what you do for people that are carrying a lot of trauma as well. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because trauma is stored in our body, and that's what creates illness. That's what creates disease. That's what creates sickness. And so what we're doing on that metaphysical level is we're getting into the cellular, into the nervous system, into the organs, and then also reprogramming the way someone is experiencing their past so that they can therefore let go and forgive or move on and be more in the present, and most importantly, live in life in love. That's definitely a huge part. I would say the foundation of my work is letting people be reminded that they are worthy and being reminded that they are beings of love, that they are souls of love.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer, and you've taught us that, love is the main component here, loving yourself to heal, the healing process, and like you said, you're just a conduit to, what is guided through you to help and assist to heal your clients. And that's so important, for everyone to understand that. And you do it in such a loving and caring way, which is, especially if you're dealing with trauma, that is so important to do that, to heal that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I also work with other women who are just dealing with everyday type of stress, whether it's stress of kind of juggling being a parent, being a mom. I do work with men too. And so, but I primarily work with women. So just juggling with the stressors of work. A lot of my clients are healers themselves, or they're in some leadership capacity. And so they're the ones that people usually go to. And so I'm the healer I'm the go-to for the healers, or those people that everyone else is going to for guidance.
Well, I can truly see that, because when I had my one-on-one healing with you, that was remarkable. So I can honestly see why, people would, even healers of, a huge status, would come to you, because you just have such a beautiful gift, and you just do such a beautiful job. And I know our listeners, would really enjoy having a session with you. I know that would be great. So, can you tell us about, distance healing?
Ooh, the distance healing. With COVID, it really forced me to really tune in. I've done distance healing before COVID here and there, but most of my clients were in person. But what it really helped me to do is to really trust that what I was doing was actually making an impact for people. And so the same thing is, I'll tune in. I have my clients. It's like a ritual. So I'll have my clients smudge themselves. I'll have them create their own sacred space. And then they tell me, what's going on, just as they would in person, what their intention is and what do they want to receive? What do they want to let go of? And then through that process, then that's how I receive information. And then I create these crystal grids on, this body that has it's supposed to be them. And then we do the energy work that way. And then, that's where I'll do most of my, the trance journeys, is taking them through that. And we're working with, sound healing or binaural beats. So, clients will be listening through their earphones. And so I think that also helps deepen their healing process because, we're using healing frequencies and healing vibrations, and then the intentions of what we're healing or reprogramming for clients.
Amazing. So, Jennifer, this is Jennifer here, my birth name, but nickname Janice. I am from one practitioner to the next with distance healing. Are there certain platforms or HIPAA compliance that you're using so your clients will feel safe in that space?
So HIPAA is related to mental health. So I don't practice psychotherapy. Mm-hmm. So with energy work, energy medicine, there is no board, unfortunately. There is no state board that regulates energy healers or energy healing practitioners. That's also why with my certification program, it's accredited because I wanted a high standard of education and training. And so just to give you that little background, but as far as how do I keep my clients safe is I do a pre-consultation. So we actually meet before we actually do a session. Mm-hmm. I also want to know like how motivated these people are, what their expectations are, if they've ever had a healing session before. And so it's a good opportunity to build rapport at that consultation. And then from there, then, when they're ready for the one-on-one distance healing, then we just meet on Zoom.
Great. Thank you for sharing that and the process. And then also with the crystal healing and the energy, how do you incorporate meditation and breath work in your healing and also the benefits to the body, mind, and spirit?
Ooh, good question. Yeah. So when we start, and this is for in-person or distance, we start with some form of a meditation or a prayer. So, it's what's called like an opening prayer or an opening blessing. So as I'm smudging them or as they're witches to use some type of sacred smoke or oil or a sweeping with feather or hands, we're tuning in and just, relaxing and closing our eyes and just setting the intentions to create the sacred space. So, the meditation part or the opening prayer is to help the mind body to say, okay, we're getting ready. We're getting prepared. We're going to tune in and we're going to just relax into the healing space. We're preparing the connection between the mind body is essentially our subconscious. So we're speaking really to the subconscious mind when we connect, meditation or meditating and connecting the mind body together. And then with breath work, that is absolutely another game changer. That's a beautiful, beautiful tool to use. And I sometimes will use it, especially when clients are really stressed or they're just like, Jen, my mind's all over the place. I don't know if I can relax. Or there's something really intense or there's some type of trauma that they're processing or just a stressor or a trigger or relationship issue. We might start with some breath work. And so that also just automatically shifts and it helps them to open up their heart. It helps them to relax into their body. So the breath work is a huge component, but I may not always concentrate on a specific breath work exercise, but it is something that we do open up with and helping them to release any distress in their body through the breath.
Amazing. I love how you walked us through all these different healing remedies and how your sessions look. And I would love to hear more about your school and the classes that you offer.
Yeah, so the school, as I mentioned, was divinely guided. It was something that I received as a download, and it really is focused on helping other empaths and intuitives who are ready to either take the next step into their healing journey and or become practitioners themselves. So I have a certification program, and this is for all levels. What I'm finding though is that I'm getting a lot of Reiki practitioners, so practitioners who have already studied Reiki. But what I think is unique about my program is that we meet weekly, and we meet on Zoom this year. And Gloria's class was the first since the beginning when I started the school, which was in 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic. It's been online, but now we've done some hybrid. So we meet every week, and that's a 3-month certification program, and it's beautiful and it's lovely, and we really get to create a beautiful community, a supportive community. It's also a space where, because there's still a taboo around energy work and energy medicine, there's still like these negative connotation, like, oh, are you doing some evil stuff? And because we're all like just tapping into our calling and what's just naturally our gifts, it's a beautiful space for others to, talk about these kinds of things and to get support from one another. So that's one thing. And then I also have a sound healing, a sound bath training. So people who want to learn about sound healing and work with different tools and instruments, whether it's other practitioners like other psychotherapists who want to incorporate sound healing into their practice. That was actually something that I started to do when I used to practice as a clinician. Is I would do that as a relaxation modality. So I was still within my ethical obligations, I would create, a 5-minute sound healing meditation as part of our opening, or maybe I would close with some type of sound healing. So, I enjoy doing that. I also enjoy my certification program. I also have, workshops on, crystal healing. So for people who want to learn about, what is crystal healing, and they want to learn more about how to apply crystals into their everyday life. So we get to have a fun 1-day workshop on using different crystals, and then being able to pair up with someone, and then using the crystals to put on the body and do your own little crystal healing. There's also workshops and classes that I do on intuition. So intuitive development. So people who want to develop more of their intuitive skills, whether it's just for like practical use, or they're wanting to strengthen their intuition because of their healing background. So I have some training on that, as well as some free gifts for that as well.
Amazing. I love how you have a unique school and practice, and how you're opening up the horizons with an open mind and education, and that liberty to learn and to kind of see a different perspective. So thank you for sharing that. Impressive. I didn't realize all the different areas of your schooling. And I was wondering, how do you offer one-on-one sessions, and going about that if someone's interested?
Yeah, so I do online. So I have a little site that you would just a consultation first. So I ask person that is new, whether they're a student, a team, or a client. I'm a big believer because I am an empath myself. I have to make sure, like, I get a vibe from the person. So I always ask them to a consultation and then just see what they're looking for, see if we're even a good fit. If, like, that's something that they want to do with me. And then either they could meet with me one-on-one in person, depending on if I have like a workshop somewhere. I'm in the San Diego area, so that's like towards Pasadena. So if they wanted to come to a workshop, Pasadena, or there's another studio that I work out of in El Sereno, or they can do it online. So I find that it's certain people, aren't nearby that can then also book trainings with me or one-on-ones with me.
Great. Thank you for sharing all of those options. And speaking of your workshops, can you let us know your upcoming events?
Yeah, so I have a sound bath that I'm actually doing at a yoga studio in Pasadena. It's called One Life Yoga. That's coming up in June. And then I also have my certification program that will start up again. We just finished. So that's going to start up again in October. So for those of you who are interested in becoming a certified energy healer, whether you're going to continue on with it or you want to add additional knowledge to other modalities that you're already doing, or if you're a clinician yourself and you want to learn about medicine work, that's a good way to step into that. And then I'll be doing a beginner energy med workshop that'll be in July. So a lot of stuff coming up in like the summertime and then in the fall.
Wonderful. I'm so glad you were able to share that. And I think before you mention your contact information, I think it's a great opportunity for Gloria to speak about her testimony as your student and taking your courses. And I think listeners would love to hear that perspective. Gloria.
Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, I can tell you that I started off from scratch. I'm a big crystal lover myself. I always knew that I had a connection with source. I'm an empath as well. And so I saw Jennifer on Instagram, and she was talking about her upcoming certification program, and it just clicked. I like the fact that she is very kind and she's humble in her practice. She has a lot of integrity and a lot of knowledge. So that just clicked with me that day I saw her do a live. And I signed up for her class. And she can tell you that I was that one student that came in every Tuesday, kind of like, I don't know if I can do this. And she was very patient, and she's like, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. And she just walked us through very gently, all of us women in her class, and really made us know our worth. And she really taught us how to believe in ourselves and our gifts, and that this was something that we all could do. And individually, we each have our own talents. And so Jennifer's course is like that. And it's very easily laid out. If I can do it, anyone can do it. And she makes it that way so we as students don't get overwhelmed or confused. And she's always there to lend a helping hand, to answer any questions we have. She does one-on-ones with us, just if we have any questions, or walk us through things. And then we get to do a one-on-one healing with her, which is amazing. But I would just let anyone know, if you're really interested in doing something like this, becoming a healer with crystals, energy, sound, her course is amazing, and you would love it the way she has it set up. It's just honestly something that is very honest, but you learn so much from Jennifer, and that's the beauty of it. And I have to say, I've enjoyed it, and I'm continuing with her and her apprentice program, and I'm excited about that. So, and I've been to her sound healing, and it was just, I took a very good friend of mine, and we both just had such a wonderful time. We just left there like floating. It was great. Yes, I'm a big testimony for Jennifer. She's amazing. She really, truly is. And she's got a really, really great gift. I need to stop because I'm going to get emotional here. Yeah.
Thank you, Gloria.
And I'm not saying it just to pass the class because I already passed it.
Yes, you did.
Yes, well, I'm excited to see you in practice, Gloria, and how your learning is applied. And I'm super excited and looking forward to our Worthy Wellness workshops and how we can also integrate it into the Worthy Wellness phone app. And I just think all of this is amazing because we are sharing and spreading the love for healing and helping a community. Mm-hmm. And it's just beautiful to see because there are these pathways of hope and rejuvenation and transformation. And I learned a lot today because there's so many aspects of healing and remedies. And like Jennifer, you were saying, you know, the connection that you have with someone, certain people connect, or, you know, maybe one remedy might work for someone and another may not. Mm-hmm. So it kind of just opens up the doors of awareness and education and really finding out what maybe something that they've never heard about. So I think this was a great episode to expand that awareness. So thank you. And also, before we end, we would love to know how to contact you. Where do we find you?
Yeah, so you can find me at my website, themysticlivingschool.com. I'm active on Instagram. I'm under Mystic Living School. Or I recently joined TikTok, and I'm under Mystic Living School 13. And if you're wanting to connect also on LinkedIn, if you just search my name, Jennifer Escalera, you will see me there. You'll see the Mystic Living School and all the details. And basically my resume is on there. So you can see my background. But yeah, that's the easiest way to reach me. And then, as I mentioned, I have a free consultation. So if you would like, and it's 30 minutes too, so it gives you plenty of time. So you can apply for that consultation, and that booking link is also on my website, and we can see how I can help you.
I think that's great. That's a lot of information. And now our listeners know where to find you and how to set up a consultation with you. You know, it's been a pleasure and an honor to have you on our podcast today. You know, Jennifer Escalera, CEO and founder, Self-Made Woman, for her, the Mystic Living School. She's a teacher, a guide, an entrepreneur. She's just a powerful woman, everyone.
Thank you so much, Gloria. Thank you, Jenna.
Thank you. Have an amazing weekend and happy listening, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed and beautiful day. And thank you again for listening. Thank you, Jennifer. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 If you're also a woman entrepreneur to support our cause and would like to be considered on this podcast, please reach out to us. We would love to connect. We see you. We want to connect, empower, and inspire others. So please call or text or even fax 949-793-8781. Or our Instagram is Worthy Wellness Inc., like INC. Hope to hear from you. And thank you for listening.